Chapter 1. The Enigma of New Horizons. The sun cast long shadows over the town of New Horizons, painting the vast arid landscapes in hues of gold and amber. Airships floated gracefully above, their propellers churning the air, while steam billowed from their engines, merging with the clouds. The intricate network of gleaming metal tracks crisscrossing the skies shimmered in the sunlight, reflecting the town's spirit of exploration and human ingenuity. At the entrance of the town stood a grand archway, constructed from a blend of wood and polished brass. As the rhythmic clanking of gears and the hiss of steam filled the air, a lone figure approached on horseback. His silhouette, framed by the setting sun, was both familiar and foreign. A wide-brimmed hat sat atop his head, casting a shadow over his features, and small skull motifs adorned his attire, whispering tales of adventures from lands unknown. Hadix dismounted gracefully, his movements fluid and deliberate. Beneath the brim of his hat, his almost glowing yellow eyes, deep and inscrutable, surveyed the town. They were set against dark green skin, which contrasted starkly with the desert backdrop. Tentacles, subtle and elegant, draped down from where one might expect a beard, moving with a life of their own, hinting at his otherworldly origins. New in town, a voice broke his reverie. Essix, with his cogwheel spurs and mechanical arm, stood beside him, a smirk playing on his lips. His attire, though reminiscent of classic Wild West, had a certain futuristic flair, with gears and dials embedded seamlessly. "Perhaps," replied Hadix, his voice deep and resonant, like the distant rumble of thunder. "Or perhaps I've always been here, waiting for the right moment." Essix chuckled. "Well, stranger, New Horizons welcomes all, especially those with tales to tell. Care for a drink?" Hadix nodded, and the two made their way to the saloon. Inside, the bartender, his mechanical arm whirring, served drinks with precision. A self-playing piano in the corner churned out a haunting melody, and patrons, pioneers of this new age, whispered tales of their adventures. As Hadix took a seat, the room seemed to grow quieter, the patron's eyes drawn to the mysterious newcomer. He lifted his drink, the amber liquid reflecting the dim light, and spoke, "To New Horizons and old memories." Essix raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "You speak as if you've seen many horizons, stranger." Hadix leaned back, the chair creaking softly. "Every horizon has a story, and every story has a horizon. But some tales are best left untold." The night deepened, and as the hours passed, the saloon filled with laughter, music, and tales of adventure. Yet, amidst the revelry, the enigma that was Hadix remained, a silent observer, a keeper of secrets, and a harbinger of tales yet to unfold. Chapter 2. Whispers in the Wind. The first light of dawn painted New Horizons in a soft, golden hue. The towering windmills began their rhythmic dance, their blades casting fleeting shadows on the cobblestone streets below. The town slowly stirred to life, the hum of machinery blending with the distant chatter of its residents. Hadix, having spent the night at the local inn, stepped out onto the broad veranda. The cool morning air was a gentle caress against his dark green skin. His tentacles, ever so subtly, responded to the breeze, moving in a dance that seemed synchronized with the wind. Those almost glowing yellow eyes surveyed the town, taking in the intricate blend of old-world charm and new-age innovation. Essix approached, a fresh cup of brew in hand. "Morning, stranger. Slept well?" Hadix nodded, taking a moment to savor the aroma of the brew. "Your town has a certain rhythm to it. It's both comforting and invigorating." Essix chuckled. "That's New Horizons for you. Always on the cusp of yesterday and tomorrow. But tell me, what brings a man like you to our corner of the world?" Hadix took a sip, the warmth of the drink spreading through him. "Seeking answers, and perhaps a new beginning." The two men walked through the town, passing the bustling market where traders showcased their exotic wares. Automated carriages moved gracefully along tracks, transporting goods and passengers. The blacksmith's forge was alive with activity, sparks flying as artisans worked their magic on metal. As they approached the Inventors Guild, a grand establishment at the heart of New Horizons, Hadix paused. This place, It holds the key to what I seek. Essix raised an eyebrow, curiosity evident in his gaze. And what might that be? Hadix looked at him, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. A way to bridge worlds, to connect the known with the unknown. Inside the guild, the air was thick with anticipation. Bright minds gathered around tables laden with blueprints and curious devices. The murmur of conversation was punctuated by the occasional clang of metal or the hiss of steam. A tall woman, her hair streaked with silver, approached them. Essix, who's your friend? Essix grinned. Meet Hadix. He's got tales that'd make even you sit up and listen. Elara. Elara, the head of the Inventors Guild, extended a hand, her gaze fixed on Hadix. Any friend of Essix is a friend of the guild. What can we do for you? Hadix took a deep breath. I seek knowledge, a way to traverse realms. I believe this place holds the answers. Elara's eyes sparkled with intrigue. Then you've come to the right place. But be warned, the path to such knowledge is fraught with challenges. Hadix nodded, determination evident in his stance. I am prepared. As the day wore on, the trio delved deep into the mysteries of the guild. Whispers of ancient lore, tales of realms beyond comprehension, as the sun set, casting the town in a warm, orange glow. Chapter 3. The Heart of the Labyrinth. The Inventors Guild, while impressive from the outside, held even more wonders within. Vaulted ceilings adorned with intricate mosaics depicted scenes of exploration and discovery. Brass and wooden beams crisscrossed overhead, supporting chandeliers that emitted a soft, ethereal glow. The walls were lined with bookshelves, each tome filled with knowledge from ages past and visions of the future. Tables cluttered with devices, some whirring and clicking, others silent but pulsating with latent energy, filled the expansive hall. Hadix, with his deep oceanic eyes and tentacles that subtly shifted with his emotions, moved with a quiet reverence through the space. His dark green skin seemed to absorb the ambient light, giving him an almost mystical aura. The skull motifs on his attire whispered tales of adventures in realms far and wide. Elara, with her silver-streaked hair cascading down her back, led the way. Her attire, a blend of rugged leather and delicate lace, spoke of a life dedicated to both the cerebral and the tangible. The guild is not just a place of invention, she began, her voice soft yet commanding, it's a repository of dreams, of aspirations. Every corner holds a story. Essix, ever the rogue with his mechanical arm and cogwheel spurs, looked around with undisguised awe. Every time I step in here, it feels like the first time. They approached a grand wooden door, its surface etched with symbols that seemed to shift and change. Elara placed her hand on it, and the door responded, glowing softly before swinging open. Beyond lay a labyrinth, its pathways illuminated by phosphorescent moss that clung to the walls. The air was thick with a sense of anticipation, and a gentle hum resonated, a song of the earth itself. This, Elara whispered, is the heart of the guild, the labyrinth of realms. It's said that those who traverse its paths can find doorways to worlds unknown. Hadix's eyes shimmered with determination. This is what I seek. Elara nodded, her gaze serious. But be warned, the labyrinth is not just a physical challenge. It tests the spirit, the very essence of those who dare enter. Essix placed a reassuring hand on Hadix's shoulder. We're with you, every step of the way. As they ventured deeper into the maze, the walls seemed to pulse with life. Shadows danced, and whispers of realms beyond comprehension filled the air. Each turn, each crossroad held a riddle, a challenge that demanded not just intellect but intuition. Hours felt like moments, and time seemed to lose meaning. At the heart of the labyrinth, they found a portal, its surface shimmering like liquid mercury. Hadix approached, his heart heavy with memories of worlds left behind and hope for what lay ahead. Beyond this lies the answers I seek. Elara smiled gently, and perhaps questions you never knew to ask. With a deep breath, Hadix stepped through, the mysteries of the universe beckoning him forward. In the heart of new horizons, as stars painted the night sky, the boundaries of reality were about to be redefined. Chapter 4. The Jewel of Realities. The portal's shimmering surface gave way to a vast, open expanse. The sky was a deep shade of twilight, punctuated by stars that glittered like diamonds on black velvet. The ground beneath them was a mosaic of cobblestones, each one reflecting the celestial tapestry above. Hadix, with his tentacles gently swaying and his dark green skin absorbing the ambient luminescence, took a moment to gather his bearings. His yellow eyes, which seemed to glow even brighter in this realm, scanned the horizon. Elara and Essix, having followed closely behind, looked around in awe. The beauty of this realm was undeniable, but there was an underlying tension, a sense of impending confrontation. From the distance, a group of figures approached. Cloaked in dark robes, their faces obscured, they moved with a predatory grace. As they drew closer, the leader stepped forward, his hand resting on the hilt of a gun that gleamed with an otherworldly light. "You trespass on sacred ground," the leader intoned, his voice echoing in the stillness. Hadix, ever the diplomat, replied, "We seek knowledge, not conflict. This realm holds answers to questions that have haunted me." The leader's eyes, visible now as piercing blue orbs, locked onto Hadix. "Then you must prove your worth. A duel, here and now." Essix, ever protective, stepped forward, his mechanical arm whirring to life. "If it's a fight you want, you'll have to go through me." The leader smirked, "Very well." Gunshots rang out, filling the air with acrid smoke and the scent of gunpowder. Essix, with his enhanced reflexes, dodged and weaved, firing back with precision. The cloaked figures, however, were no ordinary adversaries. They moved with a fluidity that defied logic, their shots finding their mark with deadly accuracy. Elara, drawing upon her vast knowledge, began chanting, her voice rising above the din of battle. The ground trembled, and from the cobblestones, ethereal barriers rose, shielding them from the onslaught. Hadix, realizing the gravity of the situation, drew his own weapon. It was no ordinary gun but a relic from his past, its shots charged with energy that could tear through dimensions. The duel raged on, the very fabric of reality seeming to warp and twist with each shot fired. The cloaked figures, though formidable, were slowly being pushed back by the combined might of Hadix, Essix, and Elara. With a final, resounding shot, Hadix's gun emitted a blinding light, engulfing the adversaries and sending them hurtling into the void. The trio, catching their breath, looked around. The realm, once serene, now bore the scars of their battle. The cobblestones were scorched, and the celestial sky seemed dimmer. Hadix, holstering his weapon, spoke, "We came seeking answers, but it seems this realm has its own guardians. We must tread carefully." Elara nodded, "Every realm has its protectors. But our quest for knowledge is just, and we will not be deterred." Essix, checking his mechanical arm for damage, grinned, "Well, that was invigorating. What's next?" Hadix, gazing into the distance, replied, "The path ahead is uncertain, but with allies like you by my side, I have no fear. Let's move forward." Chapter 5. The Enchanted Oasis. Beyond the battlefield, the realm unfolded like a tapestry of dreams. The trio found themselves in a vast desert, where dunes rose like golden waves, their peaks kissed by the moonlight. The air was fragrant with the scent of exotic blooms, and a gentle breeze carried the distant sound of flowing water. Hadix, with his tentacles subtly reacting to the environment, felt a pull, a beckoning from the heart of the desert. His dark green skin seemed to shimmer in the moonlight, and his yellow eyes, ever watchful, scanned the horizon for signs of life. Elara, her silver-streaked hair flowing freely, whispered, "This place, it's alive, breathing with ancient magic." Essix, adjusting the dials on his mechanical arm, nodded in agreement. "It's unlike anything I've ever felt. There's a power here, dormant but palpable." As they journeyed deeper into the desert, the sound of water grew louder. Soon, they stumbled upon an oasis, its waters clear and shimmering under the moon's glow. Around the oasis, trees with silver leaves and luminescent flowers stood tall, their branches swaying gently. Hadix, drawn to the water's edge, knelt and touched the surface. The moment his fingers made contact, ripples spread out, and an ethereal melody filled the air. The water's reflection showed not the moonlit night, but glimpses of other realms, other realities. A soft voice, melodic and ancient, echoed around them. Seekers of knowledge, why have you come? Elara, her eyes wide with wonder, responded, we seek answers, truths that lie beyond the confines of our understanding. The voice, now taking form as a spectral figure hovering above the water, replied, this oasis is a nexus of realities, a mirror to worlds unknown. But to glimpse its secrets, one must prove their worth. Essix, ever the protector, stepped forward, his hand resting on his gun. What do you ask of us? The spectral figure, its form constantly shifting like liquid, said, a test of heart and mind. Dive into these waters, and face the reflections of your deepest fears. Hadix, without hesitation, stepped into the oasis. The waters enveloped him, and he found himself in a realm of memories, confronting moments of doubt, loss, and longing. With each challenge, he emerged stronger, his resolve unwavering. Elara and Essix, watching Hadix's journey from the shore, took their turns, diving deep into their own reflections, facing their past and emerging with newfound clarity. As the trio returned to the oasis edge, the spectral figure nodded in approval. You have faced the depths of your souls and emerged triumphant. The answers you seek lie ahead. Hadix, his heart heavy with the weight of memories but eyes shining with determination, said, thank you for this gift of insight. The figure, slowly fading, left them with a final whisper, remember, the journey is as important as the destination. Chapter 6. The Labyrinth of Shadows. Beyond the oasis, the landscape transformed dramatically. Towering cliffs of obsidian rose from the ground, the jagged edges gleaming menacingly under the sun. Between these cliffs lay a vast maze, its pathways dark and foreboding, with walls so high they seemed to touch the sky. The entrance to this labyrinth was marked by an ancient archway, its stones worn by time, inscribed with runes that pulsed with a faint, eerie light. Hadix, his tentacles twitching in apprehension, took a deep breath. His dark green skin absorbed the scant light, making him appear as a silhouette against the labyrinth's entrance. His yellow eyes, usually so full of curiosity, now held a hint of trepidation. Elara, her silver-streaked hair tied back, examined the runes closely. These symbols, they speak of trials and tribulations, of challenges that test the very essence of one's being. Essix flexed his mechanical arm, the gears and dials clicking into place. Looks like we're in for a real challenge then. Ready? Hadix nodded, determination evident in his stance. We've come this far. There's no turning back now. As they ventured into the labyrinth, the outside world faded away, replaced by a suffocating darkness. The only light came from luminescent fungi that dotted the walls, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance and shift with every step they took. The first challenge presented itself as a chasm, its depths seemingly bottomless. A narrow bridge, made of intertwined roots and vines, was the only way across. With every step, the bridge swayed and creaked, threatening to plunge them into the abyss below. Elara, drawing upon her vast knowledge, began chanting, her voice echoing through the darkness. The bridge responded to her incantations, becoming more stable with each word. With her guidance, they managed to cross safely. But the labyrinth was not done with them. Next, they encountered walls that moved and shifted, closing in on them. The air grew thick, making it hard to breathe. Panic threatened to take hold. Essix, ever the problem solver, quickly took out a device from his belt. With a few adjustments, it emitted a high-pitched sound that caused the walls to retreat, granting them a brief respite. The final challenge was the most daunting. A vast hall, filled with mirrors, each one reflecting a distorted version of reality. As they looked into the mirrors, they were confronted by the darkest fears and insecurities, magnified and twisted. Hadix saw himself alone, lost in an endless void, his past mistakes weighing him down. Elara saw her knowledge being questioned, her confidence shattered. Essix faced the fear of his mechanical parts failing him, rendering him helpless. But as they faced these reflections, they drew strength from each other. Hadix remembered the bonds he had forged, the allies who stood by his side. Elara recalled the countless challenges she had overcome, the wisdom she had gained. Essix focused on his resilience, his ability to adapt and overcome. With renewed determination, they shattered the mirrors, breaking free from the illusions that sought to ensnare them. Emerging from the labyrinth, they found themselves on a cliff overlooking a vast, shimmering city. The trials of the maze behind them, the promise of new adventures ahead. Elara, catching her breath, whispered, "The labyrinth may have tested us, but it also showed us our strengths." Essix grinned, "And together, there's nothing we can't overcome." Hadix, gazing at the city below, replied, "Our journey is far from over. But with each challenge, we grow stronger." Chapter 7. The City of Echoes. The city below them sprawled out like a vast, intricate tapestry. Buildings made of crystalline structures rose majestically, their surfaces reflecting the myriad colors of the setting sun. Canals of shimmering water interlaced between the structures, with gondolas gliding silently, steered by cloaked figures. The air was filled with the soft hum of unseen machinery and the distant, melodious chimes of bells. Hadix, his tentacles subtly reacting to the vibrancy of the city, took a moment to absorb the view. His dark green skin seemed to resonate with the city's energy, and his deep yellow eyes captured the myriad reflections below. Elara, her silver-streaked hair now adorned with tiny luminescent flowers, whispered in awe, "It's breathtaking. A city built on dreams and memories." Essix, adjusting a lens over his eye to get a closer look, remarked, "And yet, there's an underlying tension. Can you feel it?" As they descended into the city, they were greeted by its inhabitants. Ethereal beings, their forms constantly shifting, like smoke caught in a breeze. Their voices, when they spoke, were like echoes from a distant past, layered with emotions and memories. "Welcome, travelers, to the City of Echoes," intoned a regal figure, who appeared to be the city's leader. "Here, every stone, every drop of water, holds a memory. But to navigate our city, you must first confront your own echoes." Hadix, ever the diplomat, responded, "We seek knowledge and understanding. We are prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead." The leader nodded, "Very well. To truly know our city, you must first enter the echo chamber." The trio was led to a grand amphitheater at the city's center. The walls were lined with mirrors, but unlike any they had seen before. These mirrors did not reflect one's physical form but their past, their emotions, their very essence. Elara, taking a deep breath, stepped forward. The mirror before her shimmered and revealed a younger Elara, her face etched with pain and loss. The memory of a failed experiment, one that had cost her dearly, played out. The weight of guilt, the burden of responsibility, threatened to overwhelm her. But with a deep breath and a whispered incantation, she managed to calm the storm within, acknowledging her past and drawing strength from it. Essix faced his own challenges. His reflection showed him at a crossroads, torn between his human side and the machinery that now made up a part of him. The fear of losing his humanity, of becoming a mere machine, loomed large. But with a defiant roar, he embraced both aspects of his being, finding a balance and emerging stronger. Hadix's experience was the most intense. His mirror revealed a realm he had once called home, a place he had been forced to leave behind. The pain of separation, the longing to return, consumed him. But as the memories played out, he realized that while the past shaped him, it did not define him. With a silent vow to honor his roots while forging his own path, he stepped back, a sense of peace enveloping him. The leader of the City of Echoes, having observed their experiences, approached them. "You have faced your echoes and emerged triumphant. The city is now open to you." As they ventured deeper into the city, they realized that the challenges of the echo chamber were just the beginning. The City of Echoes, with its memories and emotions, would test them at every turn, pushing them to their limits. But with each challenge, they grew closer, their bonds strengthening. And as the mysteries of the city unraveled, they knew that together, they could overcome any obstacle. Chapter 8. Whispers of the Forgotten. The City of Echoes, with its crystalline buildings and shimmering canals, was a marvel to behold. But as the trio delved deeper, they discovered that beneath its beauty lay secrets waiting to be uncovered. Hadix, with his tentacles gently swaying in the breeze, felt a pull towards the city's heart. His dark green skin seemed to resonate with the energy around him, and his deep yellow eyes, always observant, noticed patterns in the city's design that others might overlook. Elara, with her silver-streaked hair now braided with luminescent beads, was drawn to the ancient libraries. "There's knowledge here," she murmured, "stories waiting to be told." Essix, ever the adventurer, was eager to explore. His mechanical arm, now fitted with various tools for different challenges, gleamed in the city's light. "Every corner holds a mystery," he grinned. As they ventured forth, they came across a grand plaza, at the center of which stood a statue of a cloaked figure, its face obscured, holding a lantern that emitted a soft, ethereal glow. Around the statue, inscriptions in a forgotten language told tales of a guardian who watched over the city, protecting its secrets. Hadix, feeling a connection to the statue, approached it. As he did, the ground beneath them began to shift, revealing a hidden passage leading downwards. A soft whisper, like a distant memory, beckoned them to enter. The passage led them to a vast underground chamber, its walls lined with mirrors similar to those in the echo chamber. But these mirrors were different. They held not reflections of the past, but visions of possible futures. Elara, always curious, approached one. The vision showed the city of echoes in ruins, its beauty lost to time. "These mirrors," she whispered, "they show what might come to pass if the city's secrets are not protected." Essix, looking into another mirror, saw himself, but different, changed in ways he couldn't comprehend. "These visions," he murmured, "they're not set in stone. We have the power to change the future." Hadix, deep in thought, nodded. "But to do so, we must first understand the past." As they explored the chamber, they encountered various challenges. Puzzles that required a combination of intellect and intuition, traps that tested their physical and mental agility, and riddles that demanded a deep understanding of the city's history. With each challenge they overcame, a piece of the city's story was revealed. Tales of ancient civilizations, of guardians who sacrificed everything to protect the city, and of a power that, if unleashed, could either save or destroy everything. As they neared the chamber's end, they came face to face with the guardian from the statue. Not a mere carving, but a living being, its form constantly shifting, its voice echoing with the weight of ages. "You have proven yourselves worthy," it intoned. "But the greatest challenge lies ahead. The city's heart, its very essence, is in danger. Will you help protect it?" Hadix, with determination in his eyes, replied, "We are here to seek knowledge, but we will not stand by and let this city fall." Elara and Essix nodded in agreement. Together, Elara said, "We can face any challenge." The Guardian, with a nod of approval, replied, "Then let the final journey begin." Chapter 9. The Heart's Labyrinth. The Guardian led them to a massive door, ornately decorated with intricate carvings of battles, guardians, and a heart at its center. The door slowly creaked open, revealing a vast maze made of walls that seemed to pulse with life, their surfaces shimmering with a soft, golden light. Hadix, his tentacles moving rhythmically, felt the energy emanating from the walls. His dark green skin absorbed the ambient glow, casting a gentle radiance around him. His deep yellow eyes, always alert, began to decipher the patterns within the maze. Elara, her silver-streaked hair now adorned with tiny crystals that sparkled in the maze's light, whispered, "This is the heart of the city, its very essence. We must tread carefully." Essix, his mechanical arm now equipped with sensors, nodded. "Every step we take affects the city above. We can't afford any mistakes." The maze was unlike any they had encountered before. The walls constantly shifted, creating new paths and closing off others. Ethereal voices whispered riddles that held clues to the way forward. Shadows played tricks on their eyes, making them question what was real and what was an illusion. As they ventured deeper, they faced challenges that tested the very essence. Hadix encountered a chamber where the walls showed visions of his homeland, its beauty and its destruction. The pain of loss threatened to consume him, but with a deep breath and a silent vow, he pushed forward, drawing strength from his memories. Elara faced a room where the walls echoed with voices from her past, questioning her choices and her worth. Doubt crept in, but she centered herself, recalling the knowledge she had gained and the challenges she had overcome. With renewed determination, she pressed on. Essix's challenge was the most physical. A room filled with mechanical traps and puzzles, each more complex than the last. His mechanical arm whirred and clicked as he navigated the obstacles, relying on his instincts and engineering prowess to find a way forward. As they neared the heart of the maze, the challenges grew more intense. The walls pulsed faster, the whispers grew louder, and the shadows became more menacing. Finally, they reached the center, where a crystal heart floated, its facets reflecting the entire city. Around it, dark tendrils threatened to engulf it, their presence a stark contrast to the heart's radiance. The Guardian, appearing beside them, intoned, "This is the heart of the City of Echoes. It holds the memories, dreams, and hopes of its inhabitants. But it is in danger. The darkness seeks to consume it. Will you help protect it?" Hadix, with fire in his eyes, replied, "We have come this far. We will not let the heart fall." Elara, her voice filled with resolve, added, "Together, we have the strength to push back the darkness." Essix, cracking his knuckles, grinned, "Let's do this." Chapter 10. The Price of Memory. The heart of the city, a luminous crystal, pulsed with a life of its own, casting a radiant glow that contrasted sharply with the encroaching darkness. The tendrils, like creeping shadows, reached out hungrily, seeking to consume the heart's brilliance. Hadix, his tentacles poised for action, stood at the forefront, his dark green skin reflecting the heart's glow. His deep yellow eyes, usually filled with curiosity, now blazed with determination. "We must protect the heart at all costs," he declared. Elara, her silver-streaked hair now flowing like a river of moonlight, began chanting incantations, her voice harmonizing with the heart's rhythm. "The heart holds the city's essence. We cannot let it be tainted." Essix, his mechanical arm now transformed into a shield, stood ready. "We've faced challenges before. This is just another one." The battle that ensued was unlike any they had faced before. The tendrils, fueled by the darkness, lashed out with ferocity. Every time one was repelled, two more took its place. The very air grew thick with tension, the weight of the city's memories pressing down on them. Hadix, using his tentacles, created barriers to hold back the tendrils, but the effort drained him, his strength waning with every passing moment. Elara, drawing upon her vast knowledge, summoned protective barriers and sent bolts of energy towards the darkness. But with every spell she cast, a part of her essence was consumed, leaving her weaker. Essix, relying on his engineering prowess, created devices to repel the tendrils, but the constant onslaught took its toll, damaging his mechanical arm. The battle raged on, the trio's resolve tested to its limits. But just when it seemed all hope was lost, the heart of the city began to resonate with a powerful energy. The voices of the city's inhabitants, their hopes, dreams, and memories, joined in a harmonious chorus, pushing back the darkness. With one final, concerted effort, Hadix, Elara, and Essix channeled this energy, driving the tendrils away and sealing the heart, protecting it from further harm. But the victory came at a cost. Hadix, exhausted, collapsed, his tentacles limp. Elara, her energy spent, fell into a deep slumber. And Essix, his mechanical arm damaged beyond repair, sat down, a look of weariness in his eyes. The Guardian, appearing beside them, whispered, "You have saved the heart of the City of Echoes, but the price was high." Hadix, mustering the strength to speak, replied, "The city's memories are worth any price." Elara, in her slumber, murmured, "The heart beats on, and so do we." Essix, looking at his damaged arm, said, "We may be battered, but we're not broken." The Guardian nodded, "The city will forever be in your debt. Rest now, for tomorrow brings new challenges." Chapter 11. The Veil of Time. The City of Echoes, having been saved from the encroaching darkness, now stood bathed in a serene glow. Its crystalline structures shimmered more brilliantly than ever, and the canals reflected the myriad hues of the sky. But beneath this tranquility, a new challenge awaited our trio. Hadix, his tentacles now adorned with intricate golden bands, stood at the balcony of a grand tower, gazing at the horizon. His dark green skin seemed to absorb the city's renewed energy, and his deep yellow eyes held a contemplative look. Elara, her silver-streaked hair now cascading down her back like a waterfall of moonbeams, joined him. "The city may be at peace, but I sense a disturbance in the flow of time," she murmured. Essix, his damaged mechanical arm now replaced with a more advanced, sleeker design, nodded in agreement. "Time has always been a fickle thing here. But now, it feels fractured." As they delved deeper into the mystery, they discovered the existence of the Veil of Time, a dimension where the past, present, and future coexisted. This veil had been disrupted, causing ripples in the fabric of time itself. Entering the veil was no easy task. The entrance was guarded by the Keepers of Time, ethereal beings who held the keys to the mysteries of the past and the possibilities of the future. Hadix, ever the diplomat, approached them. "We seek to mend the fractures in time, to restore balance." One of the keepers, her form constantly shifting between youth and age, replied, "To enter the veil, you must first prove your worth." Elara, drawing upon her vast knowledge, began to recite ancient verses, her voice echoing with the weight of ages. The keepers, moved by her recitation, granted them passage. Inside the veil, the trio faced challenges that defied logic and reason. Landscapes shifted around them, moments from their past replayed, and visions of possible futures flashed before their eyes. Hadix found himself in his homeland, reliving moments of joy and sorrow. But he realized that to mend the fractures in time, he had to let go of his past and embrace the present. Elara faced her own challenges. She encountered her younger self, filled with doubts and fears. But she drew strength from her experiences, using her wisdom to guide her younger self and, in doing so, mending a fracture in time. Essix's challenge was the most complex. He found himself in a future where technology had advanced beyond imagination. But this future was devoid of emotions, of human touch. Using his engineering skills and his heart, he managed to find a balance between progress and humanity, sealing another fracture in time. As they navigated the veil, they realized that the key to mending the fractures lay in understanding the delicate balance between holding onto the past, living in the present, and embracing the future. With the fractures mended, the veil of time was restored, and the trio emerged, their spirits enriched by the journey. The keepers, grateful for their efforts, bestowed upon them a gift, the ability to glimpse moments in time, to learn from the past, and to shape the future. As they left the veil, Hadix whispered, "Time is a river, constantly flowing. But with understanding and care, we can navigate its currents." Elara, with a smile, added, "And in doing so, we shape our destiny." Essix, with a twinkle in his eye, concluded, "The future is unwritten, but with the knowledge we now possess, we can make it a masterpiece."